Yo, I really go to therapy to deal with the people that don't want to go to therapy. Okay. I actually really go to therapy to better myself. But that other reason is very well valid and very well true. Okay? Because people be peopling sometimes, and child, so I can stay sane, I need therapy because I don't want to run around here just hurt and hurting others like I have been hurt, if that makes sense. I really back. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Bree Free is me. If you are new to my channel, hey. If you are a friend already, hey friend. As you know, it is never too late to be a part of this community. You just have to hit the like and subscribe button down below. Don't be afraid to send and share this with someone that you know might need it, because as you all know, on this platform I promote and advocate for self-care, self-love, healing, being true to your authentic self and how to get there, navigating emotions. I cover a slew of things, y'all. I'm a one-stop shop for a lot of stuff, okay? I really am. So with that being said, I want to get into today's topic, therapy. I am so happy that therapy isn't a taboo subject anymore, because I think in the beginning, a lot of times, like, we would assume that the people that go to therapy are the ones with mental health issues or people that are completely on the deep end, when quite frankly, it's not just catered to or there to help those people specifically, but it's just for people who are having maybe some internal warfares that just need help. And then it's really just a maintenance, to be honest with you. Listen, if you go every year to get your physical done, right, you may not have anything going on with you, but you just kind of like want to know, like, you know, certain things, if you're okay, you know, because as we get up in age, certain stuff about our body changes, and so we need to go get that physical done to make sure we are able to be written off in good health. It's the same thing with your mind and going to therapy, because there's a lot of things that you need to offload and unlearn, and you can't only just do that with your family, because family and friends, because sometimes, like, you know, hate to say it, but there's always a biased opinion, and they tend to favor in your side, or a lot of times it can, the advice given can be one to just continue to allow you to be strong or encourage you to be strong and hold to. And therapy helps you to not just be strong, but to be vulnerable, but to allow yourself to be weak. And weakness is not a bad thing, or being weak in a moment is not a bad thing, but it's just to help you navigate certain feelings and emotions. And therapy, y'all, has really helped me. And I definitely want to keep it real.com with y'all, okay? As the Haitians would say, keep it real.com. Therapy has been super helpful for me. I am already in the healthcare field, and I deal with a slew of things, and I deal with a lot of patients, and I have dealt with people that are combative. I have dealt with people that are just unruly to work with, that have made experiences for me very, like, cringy in a sense, just not in just with the patient interaction, but sometimes it can just be the behind scenes and the back end of this business in itself. So for me to be able to show up every day and give 100%, I think therapy helps me to balance that. Okay. Now in my personal life, it helps me to be better in my relationships, and also know when to end relationships, and then see different perspectives and see why I choose the people that I choose. I'm gonna give y'all like a little story time, okay? Whew. So As a child of a single parent, I had to, you know, navigate a lot of things by myself because my mother just did not have the time to. And let me really specify it, in a Caribbean single parent at that. So, their thing is, especially with the Haitian community and the Haitian girls, you're only brought up to know l'église, la caille, l'école. And that is church, school, and home. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. So a lot of times I was developing just in 3 different spaces, but not really taught how to, I guess, navigate outside of just those 3. Because when you go to church, you're one way. When you go to school, you're one way, and then when you're home, you're one way. And at times, if you don't know how to deal with people, that can be like a detriment to you. But anyhow, so those were the things that I was brought up to know. And I just wanted different. I just wanted to do different. So I will say this, with Haitian parents, and being that they pressed a lot about going to church, focusing on school, there was no avenue to be yourself. There was no avenue to grow. It was always pray about it, pray about it, pray about it. And I feel like to this day, there are still people that won't encourage you to go to therapy when things are kind of breaking down. Some people will still tell you, like, pray about it. And listen, I am all for praying about it, but God sends helpers, and helpers are in the form of therapists and psychologists. And if a psychologist is going to help me navigate these feelings and figure out what I got going on, I'm going to go straight to them. So I basically just go to therapy to heal, to get better, to uncover certain stuff. Because again, I think growing up in the Haitian culture, in the Haitian community, a lot of times, like the parents used to tell you, a child is to be seen and not heard. A lot of times, the emphasis wasn't so much, or the focus wasn't primarily on like the child and their emotions. A lot of times it was just about like what the parent has going on. And because I think a lot of times like parents feel as though I provide a roof for you, I put food in your stomach, what more do you want? And that should suffice. So you have nothing to complain about, nothing to cry about, nothing to this. And I'm like, that is so wrong. That is so wrong. And especially when you say stuff like a child is meant to be seen and not heard. And the reason why that is such a cringe-worthy thing for me to hear is you are not allowing the child to learn their voice. You're not allowing the child to maybe ask questions. You're not allowing the child to develop from the things that they see and be able to ask you a question about it. And then when they become adults and they're trying to navigate the world, they have issues in the relationships. They have issues with conflict resolution. They also may have issues with setting boundaries or understanding boundaries. They just may have behavioral issues as well. And so I think I go to therapy now, and why I'm such an advocate of it is just, again, to navigate these things that I was just not taught. Because a lot of times there's a belief that, you have to be strong because that's what you're told, that's what you've been told growing up. And therapy allows me to not be strong. Therapy allows me to be weak in moments. Therapy allows me to give myself grace for the things that I did not understand. Therapy allows me to again, like, heal the child in me, so that way I can walk around with my head held high. I can walk around with such a great attitude, a great understanding of myself. It allows me to set boundaries in work, in friendships, in relationships. It allows me to just like hear my voice and know that what I feel is very valid, and it should never be invalidated or dismissed. And therapy is just great overall in general, because of the simple fact that it helps you to see people in their humanness, and allows you to really give people grace, because a lot of times we don't understand that there are many people that operate on survival mode. There are many people that had to grow up very, very early. There are many people that had responsibility put on them at such early ages. And so when you're seeing them like snap so easily, when you see them like being firm on what it is that they say, or when you see them being mature in a sense, it's because like someone didn't allow them the freedom to just be a kid in that time, or they weren't allowed or had the advantage of being a teenager at the time, because they were like, they had to be adults. And so I am one of those. I am definitely one of those that I grew up way before my time. And I think now at this big old age, I am finally enjoying the fruits of my labor. I am finally making up for lost time, for, you know, and the time that was stolen from me when I was a kid. And when I go to therapy, I make my therapist laugh. And it's funny because I was like, I'm not going here to make you laugh. I'm going here so you can help me with my problems and tell me what's wrong with me. But my therapist, like, it's like with your stories and the way that I tell things, there's always an enriching feeling to know that like I'm not as hard on myself now as maybe I used to be. I was very critical of myself. But now I'm like, child, if I can, I can. If I can, I can. It's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm less than or da-da-da-da. And so, yeah, therapy just helps me to do that soul care that I need. It helps me to maintain my mind. It helps me to just be better to myself and better to others as well. Like I said, like when you see, therapy is definitely like a relationship. In the right relationship, you're supposed to elevate. With the right person, you're going to unlock so many things about yourself that it's just going to make you go full force in wanting to do more, do better, be better in all aspects. And therapy just does that for me, y'all. It really does. So I'm loving it. And I am big on telling people, especially if you've been through any form of trauma, to definitely seek it. Because again, I think going to your friends and your family, although, you know, they're a good help, there are some biases there, and you do need someone that is trained or has the expertise in these areas to help you navigate certain aspects of your life and certain character traits. Because I think, again, like a lot of times we, and the product of our environments, or the product that I was placed in, like I took a lot of that and had it form my character into a lot of negative things, or I allowed it to make me more shy. And I'm like, no, there's like a bright person in this body, okay? That's who I want to be. That's and so therapy just helps me to kind of navigate that. And I know a lot of times people say, you know, therapy is expensive though, I can't afford to go to it. Listen, if you can afford to go to Starbucks every single day, and I know how expensive Starbucks is, okay? If you can afford to go do your nails, if you can afford to do for 1 week, for 2 weeks, for a month, whatever, eliminate those things that are costing you so much but not helping you, and swapping it out for a therapy session. And because I am so hell-bent on sharing information, Open Path Collective, please look into it, because that is a platform that has a slew of therapists on there that work on a sliding scale. And a sliding scale is basically therapists that work within like a certain parameter, certain budget. So if you're someone that is thinking therapy is going to cost you $100 per session, it's not. You have some therapists that work at $40 per session, which is still your full hour. Some work at 50, 60. It just depends, you know, I guess the level of experience that they have. And yeah, but I am not pushing therapy on anyone, but I am pushing and advocating for you to work on yourself, get better for yourself, and to get better to others. Okay, love y'all. Hope we learned something. Let's, you know, again, dive into the comment section. Let's discuss how therapy has helped you, you know. So yeah,